The year's coming to an end, and since I've not been doing a devlog in a while, I thought this would be a good opportunity to look back and give you a short overview of what changed with the game. In case you're new or you completely forgot what my game is about, at its core, the human story wants to retell the history of humankind through the lens of a video game. Each one of those little planets depict a culture throughout the different ages in history. And on those worlds, you as the player search for hidden objects and characters that each reveal a little story about our ancestors when found. Even though progress in the game sometimes feels slow to me, when I look back on the last year, a lot has been done. Let's start with the most obvious change. I changed the name from Paradigm Shift to The Human Story. That really had multiple good reasons. It was a lot of trial and error, but when I saw this combination of key art, name, and font, I knew that I found what I have been looking for. I also worked a lot more on my characters. First, I improved the base topology of my characters, so their anatomy would come out nicely. Then I designed a prefab system that has the basic setup for every character included: mesh, rig, animation, sound, gameplay code, and the code that makes them capable to walk on a sphere. To this base that I use for every character, I would now be able to relatively easily add clothes, face expressions, and hair to create a variation of characters. And it was a lot of fun to create some of those characters and see my world slowly come alive through them. I also really enjoyed working on the environment assets more. I wanted to add some more detail to the sometimes slightly boring low poly models. So I used a little shader and normal magic and was able to make the treetops and clouds extra fluffy. Even though I get a lot of inspiration from history books, the ways of organizing and categorizing information are very different in a video game, and I wanted to utilize these methods and to make it easier for players to take in that information. Before, I had one level per age, like the Bronze Age in this example, that had several cultures packed onto the same planet. During a playtest, multiple people said they had a hard time to orient themselves and wanted it to be clearer which culture they are currently learning about. To solve this problem, I decided to make an overview map of the world. The ages are still represented in different color schemes, but on this overview map, you will be able to access multiple cultures that are going to have an individual level dedicated to them. This way, the when and where is clearly communicated. Furthermore, I added a day and night feature. During daytime, the objects the player can find and learn about focus on the societal structures of that culture, whereas during nighttime, the player will be able to learn about the mythological stories of that culture. I created the Old Kingdom Egypt level and had a chance to test the new features during another playtest session. Seeing some of those people genuinely getting excited over the game made me feel like I'm on the right path. Next to the world layer and the culture layer, there will be a third layer of levels that focus on the individual and their everyday life. This example here shows the home of the narrator and main character of the game. It's still work in progress and I'm not quite happy with the colors yet, but I think it's getting there. I also went through several iterations of designing the main character herself. At first I wanted the main character to be an experienced historian, but I realized that I could write a more authentic voice if I make the main character a student of history, since that is the position that I'm in myself. Making her a young woman from Germany makes it possible for me to take inspiration from my own life and play the voice actor. Researching for the game is a continuous and ongoing task. It is very much an active task to document, reformulate, and connect the dots between all the data. I use Obsidian as a tool for this organization, and it is tremendously useful for me to get a hold on everything. Last but not least, I created a coming soon page for the Steam store. I will put a link to it in the description below. Please consider wishlisting it there. I don't have a concrete release date yet, but this way you won't miss it. I think those have been the most important changes so far. See you in the next one. Bye!